listening to the Money Monopolizers podcast, helping you take control of your financial destiny. It's about time that we invest more in our financial literacy and work towards building generational wealth. If you think you're ready to do the same, then you've come to the right place. Alex, Marlon, y'all ready? Let's get this bread.
What's good, everybody? It's Alex Kamoon here. We are back with episode 84 of the Money Monopolizers podcast, and I'm here with my co-host Marlon Walls. Marlon, how you doing today?
I would say I'm excited, but there's some bad news this week. So, I've been saying the past couple of weeks that I had a house coming up. Unfortunately, we went through the option period, and we figured out that house has flooded 4 times in the past 10 years. And I'm not trying to be the 5th and 11th year, so that was gonna be a deal breaker for me. But that's part of what you have to experience in Houston overall. Like when you're in Houston and it's like flood central, when they go through flood season, that's bound to happen in a lot of locations. So you got to keep that in mind when you're looking for different real estate deals, and you can't be emotionally attached to anything. I think that was my lesson at the end of the day. Don't be emotionally attached, because at the end of the day, this is an investment property, not my dream house. So I'm moving on to the next one. Even though it's been about 9 months, move on. It's okay. You'll live. But that's my story. But other than that, I'm doing good overall, man. How about you?
I'm telling you, man, that emotional attachment. Hey, even in other areas and in every different areas of life, that emotional attachment is never a good thing.
Oh, serious.
It just, once you get attached to something, it's like it never, and things don't work out.
It hurts a lot more.
Yeah, and it just. Anyways, we're not gonna get into
having
that.
Flashbacks.
I was like, but nah, I'm doing good, man. I think there's a lot of good things happening right now, just in terms of business and everything. Business is booming, business is growing. Just hit 100K in revenue yesterday for the cleaning business.
Big congrats to that for sure, because I know it's been a long time coming, but big congrats to that.
I appreciate it. It's 8 months to do that, so it ain't bad. Now my goal is to get that same 100K in the next 3 months. So it's exponential.
Get into that just for like a half a second. Like, I don't want to take too much time on it, but talk about like when you are hitting goals and then you hit them faster than you expect, so you had to hurry up and make up a new one. Like, what is that like for you?
Yeah, so I mean, that's a good point, because the goal for me was to just do 25,000 in a month this at some point this year, and I did that in April.
Right.
So now I pretty much had to readjust it to become something that's a little further, but still possible. Because you don't want to make it something ridiculous, but you don't want to make it something you can hit too. So it's good that you hit that goal, but you have to. The point is that you have to set a new goal, right? You can't just say, okay, I hit my goal, now I coast the rest of the year. Like, dude, it's still 8 months left in the year. So readjusting is super important, because it gives you that new target to go after. So for me, the biggest thing is pretty much knowing what is to come with that goal, right? So in order for me to get a $50,000 a month in revenue, I got to know, like, I got to make sure my marketing is on point. I got to make sure that, I'm closing a lot more leads, and I got to have the capacity to do that. That's the biggest thing, having the capacity to do that many, jobs. So it means I got to hire more. That means I got to, spend more marketing. That means, a whole bunch of things. But that was next year's goal. That was 2022 goal,
right?
To do 50,000 a month. So now I made it 2021 goal. So
the whole point of that is like the exposure, whether it's through somebody else doing it or whether it's through your own personal experience, is what helps you, for one, know and then believe in yourself that this is possible to obtain even sooner. Because I always think back to us saying we want to achieve financial freedom for you by age 28 and for me by age 32. That was what we said before, because at the time we said it, that seemed like it was more of a challenge, but still obtainable. But now, as we have continued, we're not even 25 yet. This is our birthday month, but we're not 25 yet, and you already are hitting those numbers to where you are achieving your at first your end goal, at first one of your end goals. So, as you start hitting goals earlier, you see that the things are more obtainable. So now you can just go ahead and up the goal if you want to, but it's not a requirement, but you can continue to progress by upping your goal.
Yeah, man. And that's that's the beauty in this whole journey. Like that's why I think the journey is and not the destination. The journey is the most important thing because and that's one thing I always remember Kobe saying. Kobe said that. Kobe Bryant. Kobe said that all the time and talking about, he said that at his retirement. He said that in one of his last interviews. So always focus on the journey when living in that journey, because once you get to that destination, you're there and that's it. But the journey is what you actually appreciate, and the grind and the effort. That's where you actually grow. That's where all the things happen. So right now we're in the middle of the journey. But I would say, man, if you would have told me, when I was 21 that, we'll be at this point, I don't know, I probably would have believed you. But, I said, I don't know how, but
Right.
we gonna do it at some point. So, we'll have podcasts that's, successful, and, businesses is booming, your business, my business, everything's booming. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. So glory to God for that, man. Just because, without, having that faith that, we could do it, then it'll be a lot harder to actually get through a lot of these things that happen. Because I'm not gonna say it's been easy. 2020, I got cooked. 2020, I got cooked.
That could be a whole episode itself. How was your 2020 to be the top?
Man, I'm not even reaping any fruits yet. Now I'm just being able to see little seedlets. So it's
right, for sure. Yeah, no, it's a big horizon coming.
Yeah, so I'm excited for the future. 2021 is, we're not even halfway in a year, but I already see a lot of amazing things happening. And then 2022, man, ooh, man, that's all I gotta say.
Enjoying the journey.
But anyways, we had a really good episode this week. It was a remix, first remix, technical remix that we had. Technically, the first remix that we had in terms of a repeat guest. Episode 37, Mr. O'Neal Parker, the king of creativity, as I like to call him, because this man is killing it. 27 years old, and last time we had him on, this was like last April, so about a year ago, a little over a year ago. He had a $2 million real estate portfolio and was just making 20 units just through creativity, and didn't expect nothing less from him. A year later, he's switched his strategy to primary flipping now. So he said he's flipping 2 to 3 deals a month, or they have 2 to 3 projects going on per month. And he's, added to his rental portfolio. He has a $3 million portfolio now, and still doing deals. And as in his own fashion, creatively. I don't know what the hell. He's still doing deals in his own fashion, creativity. So it was good, man. Good to chop it up with him and get his insight, because I think he's killing it to be 27 and to have a portfolio and to have a business. He has multiple, streams of income now within the business, the construction business. He said he made he quit his job last year in September, and then he made his salary within 45 days. He made $100,000 within, so with the business that he started, a construction business, a brand new business. So man, he's just a true entrepreneur. Even just talking to him, offline and on the podcast, you can see he's a true entrepreneur. So it's always good to chop it up with him.
Yes, sir. And I mentioned to him earlier during the episode that his name used to be real estate entrepreneur, and I think that really embodies who he is. Like, he can still have it like in his bio or whatever. Like, I think that really embodies like his mindset and how he approaches different things in real estate, because he's making all these businesses because he sees that the business that he's making is him solving his own problems in different ways. So he talks about just about everything. He talking about mortgage lending. I think like a mortgage officer that he's currently working on. He talked about how he did the construction business. All of these things are problems that are in real estate that he's creating to solve, for one, his problem, but also for other people and solving their problems. And that's really what entrepreneurs do at the end of the day, is identify where problems are that people have, and then they just creatively find a way to solve them. And so that's really like his creativity is at a whole nother level. And if people start thinking along these lines, this is where people are able to change generations forever, because they can take away your money, they can take away a whole bunch of things, contacts and connections, but they can't take away your mind or your creativity. And if you develop your mind to be creative the way he is, he would never work for anybody else in his life, because he always has a way to solve somebody's problem.
Yeah, that's entrepreneurship in essence, son. So let's get into it. O'Neal, my man, how you doing?
Yo, man, I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
We doing good. The first, we were just talking about this, the first technical repeat guest that we've had on here. So we excited to get back into it because I know a lot of stuff has been going on. You know, you had reached out to us about hopping back on here because you had a lot of stuff going on.
Hey
So
man, I'm a new
last
person. I'm a different person now, man.
man, last time you was killing it. Last time, whenever we had talked to you, you was 26 years old. Now you're 27. So you know, in a year, a lot has changed. So we definitely want to get into it. So real briefly, you know, I don't want you to go as in depth as you went to last time in terms of like your backstory and stuff. People can go check that out to get that. But real briefly, could you kind of give a little like just a background in terms of like how you got into real estate and you know, a little bit about that in regards to how you kind of, you know, elevated to the point where you were last year, and then you could just stop there and then we'll get into it a little further than that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it brief. So first off, my name's O'Neal. Always been interested in real estate. It was my dream job when, you know, you're 12, 13. Teachers ask you what you want to do. I want to be a real estate agent, but, you know, truly I really want to be a real estate investor because that's all I really knew was real estate agent. You know, I thought it was investors. But fast forward, going through high school, college, you know, you meet girls, relationships, sports, football. You tend to forget about, you know, the things that you want to do. You're just living life. I was just living life. So fast forward to when I was 20. When I was 20, I think I was like 21, 22. No, I was like 19. I was playing football in college, broke my leg. After that, I was like, I'm done with college. I only went to college because I wanted to play football. If I wasn't playing, I wouldn't go. So after that, broke my leg, transferred all my credits to community college, got an associate's degree. Then after that, I was working at Pepsi for like 3 months, and then I got the job that I had. And I stayed there for 5 years and 6 months to be exact. And while I was there, it was an hour away from my house, and I don't like driving. So I built me a house when I was 21, close to the job. And then after staying there about a year, I was like, man, I gotta get some more money. I was getting paid pretty good. I was 21. I was getting like 60 a year. Net it was like 42, 44, something like that. And then I started looking up like, man, I need to get some more money. Started looking up different ways to get more money. Real estate kept popping up. How to flip a house, no money, no credit. Of course, I thought it was a scam. And then I started looking deeper into it. And then I was watching YouTube videos like 4 in the morning that night. And then I ordered me a book. That was the first book I read from cover to cover, How to Be a Real Estate Investor by Phil Pustiowski. And then, man, I got into it. Started my business with $63 and then quickly scaled. And then I stopped right there.
Man, so last time you was on here, cause what episode, Marlon, was he on here? Was it
37.
Yeah.
I just checked.
37? Yeah, 37. So the last time you was on here, what did your portfolio look like in that at that time?
Talk about the time frame. Let's go get it real quick.
Was that
So
last year?
April 9th of last year. So yeah, it's been like a year and about a year and a month since then.
I probably was around what, 20, something like that. 20 units.
20 units. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded about right.
Okay, so you had 20 units then since then. So what in that past, you know, year, just I guess we're gonna dive into it. But what does your portfolio look like now, and kind of what have you done since then?
I think I'm at 25 or 26 because within that time I've been doing a lot of flips. So
yeah. So okay. So this is what I kind of want to get into.
A lot been going on, man.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, at that point, you had like a $2 million just rental portfolio at that point. So even now, it's, you know, you have a few more units, so it's probably even, you know, closer to you know,
right at 3. It's right at 3.
Yeah. So shout out to you for that for sure. So one thing I want to get into it kind of in that sense was because I know one thing that, because obviously we're in real estate as well, and one thing that we, you know, started doing was we switched our strategy from, you know, rental properties to flipping houses, only because the goal was to you know, take a lot of that cash and buy, you know, bigger deals like apartment complexes, right? And so right now, obviously in the last year, the last time he was on here was like right when COVID hit. And so in the last year, real estate is, you know, prices are up. I actually was looking at it the other day for a video I did. Median home pricing over the last year is up 15% all over the country. And that's just generally. Some you know, locations are up even higher. I mean, Houston is ridiculous. Down here in Texas, the South, everywhere is ridiculous right now. People are trying to come down here. So the reason I say that is because something people always ask me is, should I be flipping or should I be doing, you know, buying rentals? And you mentioned you were doing a lot of flipping. The reason I, you know, say one reason it's good to flip right now is just because that's what the market is giving you. Like right now, it's super high. You can get top dollar for everything. We're even doing a $450,000, $500,000 flip right now because that is the only time where I would be comfortably say we can do this and it won't
Right
sit
now.
too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're gonna list it probably here in a couple of weeks and it'll probably sell pretty quickly. But I kind of want to get your perspective as to like why you decide to start flipping as opposed to focusing so much on the, because you had the rental portfolio, but you kind of started doing that. So why did you decide to start flipping?
So my plan initially when I got into real estate was to buy as many rentals as possible. Of course, to quit my job so the rental cash flow could pay all my bills and things like that. And then once I got to a certain level, I wanted to start flipping properties to start paying off the debt. Because at the end of the day, if you have all the debt, you're still working for the bank. So by the time I'm in my mid 30s to 40s, I want to start having free and clear properties. So, and then another thing, becoming full time, I was like, why not do all of it at the same time? I got more time on my hands. So I buy rentals right now, I do creative real estate. Now into Airbnb, flipping houses. So right now I'm trying to have 2 to 3 flips going at all times because we need that money to start paying off rentals and to, like what you said, getting the bigger deals as apartment buildings, things like that. So that's why I transitioned into it. And right now is the perfect time, as you stated. Right now, in my market, we only have 900 houses on the MLS.
Sheesh. And that's you in what part of Louisiana?
Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And it's
Man.
typically they have like between 3,000 and 3,500 on a regular basis. The interest rates is, low as it's ever been. So why wouldn't you flip a house at this moment?
Oh man, we understand completely. Now you mentioned that you had quit your job though at the same time with all that. So now I do want to at least understand that rationale behind it, because most people, that's like one of the biggest obstacles that they face when it comes to working on their 9 to 5 and working on their dream at the same time. So what made you comfortable enough to make that jump to go full time into real estate?
Got you. So like I stated before, my main focus when I started was to cover all my life expenses and bills and things like that. So I reached a level, I was good. I still enjoyed my job, but I think 2 months before I quit, I was praying. I was like, God, if it's time for me to go, send me an obvious sign, like slap me in the face with it. And then he sent me a sign, and I just walked off. So I felt confident. I was good with it. I was I was a little nervous, but I was ready to go. I think it was just time. That was September 22nd, 2020.
And when is your birthday?
September 3rd.
Okay, so it's a little, because I was trying to see that was that your birthday present.
It was though. It was.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a few days after my 27th birthday. So.
And let's, for the people that haven't listened to episode 37. So I remember distinctly speaking to you about this at that time, because this was like right when COVID had hit, and like this was actually like a big thing in terms of like having job security. And so you had even mentioned like you could have left your job a long time ago. Right at that point, even when we did that episode 37, you had the $2 million rental portfolio with 20 units. You was cash flowing, because I remember the way you were putting deals together, like creatively. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But like in the sense of like you could have left your job many months before you did. Why did you stay in your job as long as you did, as opposed to just quitting? Could you kind of talk about that and give that perspective and why you value the 9 to 5?
Yeah, I'm a little different. A lot of people hate their job, but I really enjoy my job. My job was super easy. They paid me well. I was making 6 figures. I'd work 10-hour shift, but actually, in all reality, maybe work an hour and a half, 2 hours actually on the job. The rest of the time, I'm running my real estate business from my phone. Yeah. So why not stay, get the extra money, get the benefits, leverage the things that they have, like insurance, 401k if you have that, stack the money in the 401k as soon as I quit. I think before I quit, I took out a loan against my 401k, used that to invest in real estate. And then when I quit, cash it out. That's more money. So your money is just working twice. And I just enjoyed my job, really. It wasn't bad. I could have quit probably. I started investing in 16. I probably could have quit it in 18 if I really wanted. But it's easy. Everything is a lot easier when you have a W-2. When the bank knows you have a check every 2 weeks, it's just, they handle you money.
Now, I want to really get into that, because now that's one thing that I consider for myself, because right now I do work my 9 to 5 as well, and I'm constantly building up first of all my nest eggs. Like I'm saving a lot of my money that I could bring in from the job, and a lot of that is just going like into the market for now, just so I can like build up that nest egg. But at the same time, I'm thinking of trying to buy a house for myself, like as far as like a house hack in general. Now, I can probably buy one right now because I have the job. But say if I quit between right now and next year and I want to buy another house hack, it's going to be different if I'm talking about, hey, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm looking to buy a house. So what is that process like for somebody who doesn't have a job?
If you don't have a job, I'd say do this. If you're looking to buy your own house, me personally, I'll probably go this route. I don't want to own anything in my own name anymore, so I'm buying every house under my LLC. I'll get a 30-year mortgage with a private money lender, hard money lender, and there's gonna be a house under my LLC, and then I'll rent from my own company, and then it's all a tax write-off on both sides.
That's
So
cool.
that's what I would do. Because private money lenders, they're not really looking for all the things like the bank, like a 2-year.
So you have private money lenders that do 30-year loans?
Yeah. If you look, Lima One Capital, Linden
Oh, okay.
One.
So I see.
Yeah, because the interest rate's not that bad. Like if you get a 30-year mortgage, I think right now they're offering 4.5%. That's really not that bad to say it's not
I
tied
did
to your personal.
five and an eighth back on my last property, so that's nothing in
Yeah.
comparison.
Yeah, it's nothing. And then especially you have nothing tied to your name. It's under your LLC.
Right.
So of course you're gonna pay more in interest, but at the end of the day, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because your name is clean. You know, your credit is clean.
And that's one thing that we got from last episode that we did with you was their creativity. Like that's one thing that you always had as like one of your gifts was like the creative ways of finding out how to finance, how to obtain different real estate deals. And I think that was one thing that you really leveraged to your advantage a lot when we talked to you last time. And now you keep on referring to like you're a changed man today. So I really want to figure out like what is different about you today versus back then, and especially in regards to real estate.
Shit. First, I don't have a job no more.
Yeah, of course.
Man, since I was last on the podcast, I started Airbnb business.
Yeah.
The credit business that I had, my girl handles all that now. What else I have? I have a construction company. So this would happen. So I quit September 22nd. 45 days after I quit, I made my whole salary in 45 days after I quit. Plus some. So I made over 6 figures in 45 days after I quit my job. And bro, it's been crazy. So
was that from all the different businesses that you had?
Hell no, that's just from one.
Woo.
That's just from one job.
Which one?
That's from the construction company I started.
So are you obviously you're managing? Are you a GC now?
You can say that, just not licensed.
Yeah.
Just get into it a little bit. Like how did that work out? Like how did you make your entire salary in that 45-day span with the construction company? Like what did that look like?
So I'm sure y'all know, y'all in Texas, we had the hurricanes that came, right?
Yeah.
I think we had like 2 back to back. So I had 5 houses and 2 I'm doing rent to own. I had 7 insurance claims on my houses. They needed roofs. I thought about it, I was like, bro, there's gonna be a lot of money to fix all that. So I was like, I sold a house creatively, I think around March, around the time we did the last podcast. And when I sold a house creatively, she did the whole roof over. So I called up, was like, who did your roof? She said her brother. And I said, you mind if I come check it out? Went check it out, got on top of the roof, it looked good. And then after that, me and my partner was like, let's just start a roofing company. And then a week after that, we started a roofing company. And then from roofing, we started doing flooring, paint, sheetrock. What else we do? Pretty much everything. And then that's how it started, because I seen the need in the community, and it was a problem. People was getting price gouged, so we just came in, started a company, and we just took off.
Yo, okay, I want to really highlight this because I didn't even know that before I even answered that question. But this is the beauty of what entrepreneurs do. Every time a crisis situation comes up, entrepreneurs are not going to dwell in that moment. They are the ones who think about solutions. So you see all these roofs that are being destroyed by these hurricanes. Some people are going to just sit back and say, somebody needs to come fix this for free because I didn't do this. So somebody owes me something. An entrepreneur says, I see this problem, and I am creative and I have a solution to the problem. So now, instead of me dwelling in the moment, let me take advantage of the opportunity that most people consider a crisis and go ahead and start my own roofing company. And from that just spawns a whole bunch of different stuff. You said now you do flooring, you do all this other stuff that comes along with it. Now you have your own construction company, bringing in your entire salary that you had before in 45 days. First of all, your Instagram handle used to be Real Estate Entrepreneur. Is that?
Yeah.
Then you change it over, right?
Neil J. Parker, baby. I'm the brand.
Yeah, bro. No, I feel that. But no, I think in essence though, you truly are the entrepreneur and real estate investor. Like it's a perfect match between the two because entrepreneurs are the visionaries that see the problems and solve them where other people may miss them.
And one thing
Exactly.
I love about the something that you did too was that you did that within the industry. Like you found multiple ways to make money within the industry. Like you already had the credit company that was already within the the realm of the industry, and then you had the obviously the rental business, that had the flipping business, and then now the construction side of the business. So that's
I
like
want it all.
yeah,
And my partner is a realtor, and right now I'm studying to get my mortgage license. So when you come to us, we getting paid some type of way. You're gonna need your credit fixed. You're gonna need to buy a house. You're gonna have to buy a house with a realtor. Your
yeah,
personal register. You're gonna need a loan for your house. You know, you're gonna need some construction done to it. So
yeah.
if you come see me, I'm leaving with some money.
For sure.
No, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Or Marlon, were you about to go? Because I was gonna.
Uh, I want to go back to what y'all said, how entrepreneurs make money in crisis. So when I started in real estate, uh, I started when they had a huge flood in 2016 in Baton Rouge. I don't know if y'all remember that, but that's how it all started. That's how I closed 17 deals in 4 months and made over $50,000.
Mm.
So I seen the problem and I solved the problem. So
That's great.
everybody became a wholesaler. Everybody became a wholesaler, but nobody had buyers. So I created a disposition company. Everybody that had wholesale deals came to me and I just sold a deal. While I had a while I had a job, I made more on my side business than I made my full-time job.
And you see that's why I be telling people too, because everybody, when people want to get into real estate, first thing they say is wholesale, 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 because that's like the lowest barrier to entry, right? That's the first thing that most people think of. But like when two people tell me, oh, how do you find deals? How do you find deals? I say I just go to wholesalers, right? Because the wholesalers are already putting in so much work to find those deals. Like, why should I go compete with 50 people for these same deals when they could just? I don't mind them taking their fee, because that's the money I would have spent anyway to try to find that deal for marketing anyway or whatever. So they
Exactly.
can take their fee, whatever, and I'll just take the actual property, right? Is that how you looked at it as well?
Exactly. So again, when I got in this business, my goal was to own real estate, not be transactional. So I look at it like this: rentals, you do one transaction, you get paid for the rest of your life. You get paid every 30 days. When it comes to wholesaling, after you get a check of 20,000, now you got to start all over again. And it's just like flips, right? So it's just a lot of work to get to take place just to get paid. If you get rentals and you do, let's just say, the bird strategy, you can get the wholesale fee plus you getting the cash flow every month. So why not just do that?
And that's why I say people got to know what their end goal is too, because
Exactly.
if you don't know what your end goal, you don't even know what the hell you're doing. Because like whenever we got into real estate, we was all okay. I want to, rent. I remember saying, I'm just gonna house hack one property every year and then get financial freedom. Right, that I house hack for 10 years and I'll be good. But like over time, my goals changed, so the strategy changed. So it came to a point where it's like, okay, I want $10,000 a month in passive cash flow. How can we do that? Okay, I know I can either go get 50, single family houses that generate $200 a month. I can go get 25 duplex, or I can go get a 50 unit apartment. To me, the 50 unit apartment is the most attractive thing. But in order to
On
get
purchase.
right, but in order to get a 50 unit, I know I probably need, I don't know, let's say $1 million down. How can I get $1 million cash? I can either go work my job or I could go flip some houses, right? I'd rather go flip some houses because it'll be a lot quicker. We flip some houses, then I get $1 million cash. So I'm not flipping. We don't flip houses just to say we flipping houses and make money. Flipping houses to get to the end goal. And so you can even break it down further. Some people might have to start in wholesaling. You might have to go back that far to get started, right? So
Exactly. So I'm the same way. I just tell people start where you are, because a lot of people say do wholesaling.
yeah,
I ain't with that, because wholesaling a lot of work. You know,
man,
if
that's
you
the
have if you have good credit, leverage your credit. If you have a lot of money, leverage your money. If you have nothing, you better figure out. You better be creative, or you have to be a wholesaler. So I'm
Yo,
partnering with somebody.
God, that is it, bro. Like I think it's two main things: know your goal and know where you are. Knowing those two things allows you to create a plan of action. Knowing your goal, that's setting out. Like Alex said, I want to make 10,000 a month. I can do that with a rental property that's 50 units. So now I need to know where I am in order to get to that, to get to my goal. There's a million ways to make money. Like we've heard everybody come on a podcast with different ways of making money, whether it's crypto, whether it was rental cars, whether it's real estate, whether it's wholesaling. There's a million ways to get there, but now you have to figure out where you are and how can you best utilize where you are in order to get there. You're just talking about leveraging credit. People really are big on like people love to build their credit, but they don't want to utilize their credit to their advantage more times than not. And if you have great credit, that is a great way to leverage your way into different investment opportunities. Like you can go get banks love lending to people who have good credit, and especially if you have a 9 to 5 along with it, they're gonna throw you money. And so it's just about knowing your situation, knowing where you are, and leveraging that to be able to get to where you want to get to.
Exactly. You know, one thing I hate, I know everybody see on Instagram, people post on Instagram, they got a 750, 800. All right. That's nice, but what do you have?
Exactly.
All right, no assets.
Don't show off your credit if you ain't got nothing. It's not even working for you. So it's really pointless to have the score. It's just 3 numbers. Why not use the 3 numbers to make, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures? Like I said, it's pointless to have a great credit score if you're not going to use it. And if you don't know how to use it, buy a mentorship or partner with somebody that do know how to use it. Because again, you're not making no money by showing it off on Instagram.
Yeah. So one thing I want to get into kind of is more so how you like the nuance of kind of how you're flipping these many deals. Because if you say you had 2 to 3 going a month over the last year, you flipped a good amount of deals. You say you sold one like last week. So how are you, number one, can you kind of, just talk about your whole process in terms of like how you find these deals? I assume you're probably using, wholesalers, maybe your marketing, and then kind of how you, put a team together in terms of managing the deal, how you determine what like properties you want to go for, because, every market is different. So can you kind of talk about that strategy?
Gotcha. So in late 2019, I think November or December, I was thinking in my head, I want to scale up. So I got a partner. When I got a partner, we started a wholesaling business. We started this company to buy more rentals, to buy more flips. We never started the wholesaling business to make $20 wholesale fee. I mean, $28,000 wholesale fees. Yeah. The origination of this wholesale company was to get the most equity possible. So that's why we started that. And now we're automating that right now so we can focus on the construction company, scaling that up. We can focus on GC and the projects that we have. And how we do 2 projects at once or 3 projects at once, we hire each individual craft. So if you're a plumber, you're going to do plumber. If you're an electrician, you're going to do electrician. We don't hire one person to do everything. Reason being because it takes a lot longer. So instead of a flip taking 2 or 3 months, it takes us 5 to 6 weeks because every craft takes 2 to 3 days. To rewire a whole house should only take 2 to 3 days, depending on how big the crew is. Yeah. To paint a whole house should take 2 to 3 days. To do plumbing, take 2 to 3 days. To run an AC, whole new system should take 2 to 3 days. You put all that together, it takes weeks to do it at a house, not months. Yeah. So you got to have that system in place. And of course, you got to stay on top of them because if you're not there, they might, I'm going to show up at 7. They're going to text you, I'm going to be there at 7, but they really going to be there at 9. So if you're not at the job at 7, call them, trying to see where they are. That's how it takes longer and longer to do projects. You got to keep everybody on the same schedule and have accountability and also have a pay schedule. If this is not done by Friday, you will not get paid. Whenever it gets done, you will get paid the following Friday. Yeah. So if they want to get paid, they're going to get it done. Because all contractors need more money.
Yeah.
So that's how we do that.
I got 2 things from that. First of all, you mentioned that you are hiring specialists. Now, specialists mean special pay along with that. So most people are frightened by hiring somebody who is an expert in it because they can hire my boy Rico across the street that as a handyman does it's like the jack of all trades type of guy. Mm-hmm. So now, what do you tell to that person that is trying to cut costs by hiring a person that does everything versus hiring specialists?
Now we do that as well. Like, so the people that we hire, they may not have do sheetrock, flooring, and all this, but I'm not hiring you for it. I'm hiring you to do flooring specifically. After you do this flooring, you can go to the next job. I don't like those people. So what we do is hire individual tasks to do the job. And then, the longest part of a flip is usually the stuff at the end, the last 10 to 5%. That usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. Right. So once we get to that part, we hire probably 1 or 2 handymen to wrap it up. All the touch-up paint, doorknobs, if you need some shoe molding, put that down, things like that. So that's where we are right now, and that's how we can complete jobs so quick. Because, like I said, if you hired one person to do everything, he might start on the plumbing. I'm going to go do electrical real quick. And then he got all these jobs that he started, he never finished one.
Yeah. So y'all don't hire a GC, y'all just hire the sub.
We the GC.
Yeah. Nah, that's a fact. I mean, hey, it go back to what you said last time in episode 37. He said, hey, I'm the bank. So
exactly. Because you paying the GC extra money just to call people. You can do the same thing. That's all they do is call people. Hey, plumber, show up.
Yeah.
Flooring guys show up.
Yeah.
Nah.
And the thing about the GC too is that even if you would think if you have a GC, it's hands off, it could be passive, but you still got to manage the manager. And so
Right.
at that point, it don't if you going to manage the manager, you might as well manage the subs, and you know cut costs
And
in
save
that
yourself some money. Because I
Yeah.
guarantee you're getting paid to do that. You
way.
ain't getting paid no light fee.
Yeah. Nah, man, they take a good chunk because that's how we run our projects out here.
Y'all
So-
run them with GCs or y'all do it yourself?
Nah, GCs.
Damn.
He's about to say it too.
Yeah.
Because we do GCs for other people projects, so I know.
Yeah. Nah, you know, see the thing is, I mean, it's different ways to go about it. The reason we use GCs though is because in a lot of cases, especially with a 9 to 5, it's really hard to try to manage all those, you know, subs and, you know, all those individual things. And then on top of that, you can hold, it's a lot easier to hold one person accountable than it is to try to hold 15 people accountable
Correct.
for different things. Now, like I said, it's just different things for different people, but
Yeah.
you know.
I was doing the same thing when I had a job. I would just hire one person at a time or whatever it is. But another thing, how to do it so quick is you got to have 2 people and 2 crafts in the house at all times. So plumber and electric can work together. Because if let's just say you're doing a bathroom, you need an outlet in a certain place. And like just say the vantage right here, of course I need an outlet to the left on the wall or whatever. If you're running again electrical and AC could be in there at the same time too. Because if you're gonna put the AC unit in the attic, the electrician got to run the box. It got to be at a certain place. So
Yeah.
if 2 people in there working together, they're on the same page. They can work as fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, well, so whenever you do it, do you get like, because since you're not doing a GC, so how do you go about getting bids then? Are you using the same people for everything, just every single project, or how do you keep them honest? Because they could just be trying to finesse you.
So I do the same thing. I get three bids for each job, 3 to 4, just depends on what it is. And of course, if you use the same person over and over and over, he gonna get over you over time.
Yeah.
Cause you're like, oh, he got the bag. I know I could squeeze another 500 or 1,000 of them. So I typically use the same people, but I get other prices just to see if my person is staying honest.
Yeah.
And I let them know, like, you know, I'm getting other numbers, so I need your best price up front. I don't want you to tell me 1,500 and then 2 days later I can do it for 12. Tell me the 12 up front, and then we ain't got to do all this.
Yeah. And see, that's what I think the reason I brought that up is because it's like I remember last year we were doing a project and we had a GC handling the project, and to me he wasn't doing that great a job. You know, other people thought otherwise, but to me he wasn't doing that great a job. So one thing I think that a lot of people could do, or something that, you know, I did, was I brought another one of, you know, my guys to that project and said, okay, can you walk this project and give us a bid for it while he was there working, so that he knew, like, yo, you have no job security. So
I do things like that too.
Yeah. if you're not performing, you can be gone at any minute. So
So we do that as well. So let's just say a job is supposed to be done on Friday, and I don't see nobody on Wednesday or Thursday. Or just say if I don't see nobody Wednesday by 9, 10 o'clock, you ain't gotta come back. Somebody else gonna be at 10. That's how we operate.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that. If you say we could be done at a certain date, I want it to be done at this date or before. Because now time is money. Of course, if you got a hard money loan, every day that you're doing a project, you're losing money.
Holding costs.
And they don't look at it like this, that we're a business. You could keep making money with us if you do this shit right the first time. Like, you're gonna make a whole lot of money, more than this 10,000 I'm about to give you. You could make 100,000, 200,000 next year. But it's kind of hard to find contracts like that. They chase dollars.
Yep.
Somebody else got a job for 10,000 down the street. They're gonna do a little bit on yours. They're gonna go grab their 10,000 and try to come back and finish yours.
I think the main thing that you're really doing is like establishing your boundaries and establishing your rules and regulations of how you run your business. So if you can't get with it as a contractor, then you just understand that you're very replaceable. You're indispensable. Like you can be moved just as fast as you got here. And there's like no true attachment to any one person, because at the end of the day, it is business. We're in here to make profit. We're in here to make sure everybody is doing what they can as efficiently and as quickly as they can. So I love your mindset of earlier when you mentioned that you're not going to pay them all up front. Like some contractors are looking for like the majority of their pay, like maybe 75% before they even get started with swinging a hammer. And
Yes, sir.
I think you've established your own rules and regulations for how you go about doing that. Can you briefly go over that again? Because I think that's very important for a lot of people to hear is that when they're hiring contractors, you have the ability to set the rules and regulations for how things go about our process and stuff.
Yeah, so up front, it's all about respect and accountability. So if you're hired to do this certain job, and I always ask them up front, like, how long you think the job would take? Of course, it could be like 2, 3 days. All right, well, I'll give you 4 days. If you can get it done in 4 days, you get paid this amount. Now, until this is done, that's when you get paid. I just want you to understand up front. And then that way, they know, hey, if this is not done, I'm not gonna get paid. Or if they like, let's say we fire midway, you get paid for what you done. That's it, and then we'll go pay somebody else to finish. We just fired one of our contractors 2 weeks ago because the job was supposed to be done at a certain date. So I'm sorry, you got to go. And the crazy part is, he one of my tenants, so
Dang.
it is what it is. But it's all business.
It's all business, bro.
So it's very important to stay true to what you say and do it. And a lot of them ask for money up front. I'm asking like, for what? So one of the contractors said, I need to pay my people. I said, well, I can pay them. We have no reason not to pay them, but I'm not gonna give you half of what you want. For what? Just for you to show up? Nah, it don't work like that. Do y'all get paid half your salary before y'all go to work?
Right, when we show up the first day of the week, they give us half our pay.
Thank you. So we're gonna treat it the same way. And I let them know, you work for me, I don't work for you.
Yeah, and that's key though, because that's so key. I remember actually this happened last week. I was at that flip I was talking about earlier last week, and when I got there, like, see, okay, because it's a GC running it, but a lot of the subs kind of know. That's the thing about having another GC too, because if the subs know that there's when I say subcontractors, when they know that there's a GC on the deal, they may or may not, take it as serious than if they know like the owner of the house is the GC on the property. Because I remember when I was out there, the guy came by and he was like sitting there just chilling. He was supposed to be working on a sheetrock, and he was just chilling.
He didn't know who you was, probably.
And he just sitting there chilling for a long time, like just like on his phone doing stuff. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, what is going on here? Like, and it's just like there's like, oh yeah, I'm waiting for something. I'm waiting for Matt to come back. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this. I'm like, yo, so now I gotta, we gotta talk to GC about this, because it's like this ain't happening. But once he knew that I was the guy, then he started like, oh, nah, he started working. So
yeah.
That is one advantage definitely of having your own subs, because they will, when they know like the guy is, because they know there's another person calling the shots. So it's very important to set that boundary that oh, I am calling the shots in this deal. Like there's
yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And another thing, before you pay them, make sure you inspect what they did, because if you pay them and you think they will come back and fix what they did, you're sadly mistaken. So always do a walkthrough, and then if you don't really understand how things are supposed to look, call a friend or pay somebody to come look with you so you can learn. So the thing about this business is you need to learn what's going on, and then that's how you can scale, and that's how you know prices of things. So me, when I walk in the house, I know not exactly, I'm probably within 5,000 of what the budget gonna be. So that's because I ask questions. When I hire people, I ask them how long it's gonna take, how much you charge per square foot, what's the price of materials, things like that. And then that's how you learn construction over time. And another thing, always get your own materials. Don't tell them a price, materials, and labor, because of course they're gonna add on top of that.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's a huge, huge point, because I know for a fact any people that are listening right now hear that you're your own GC and they're terrified of it, because it's really just a fear of the unknown type of mentality. When you hear something that you haven't done before, it sounds daunting because you don't have no experience or knowledge of what that job or that description entails. So I think that's a big key that you were doing, was answering questions about how much does this cost per square foot? What does this look like? What does that look like? Because when you first got into GC, what made you so comfortable doing that? Like, I was really, that was one of my questions I wanted to answer earlier anyway. Like, what made you comfortable saying, you know what, I can be my own GC? I think I got the knowledge to do this.
Shit, I wasn't comfortable. But the thing about me is, if I think about something, I do it. I'm not really scared to take risks. I'm a risk taker. So it just happens over time. Like with all the real estate, all the rental properties I get, of course, when you buy a rental, they need work. So that's how it happened over time. And then once I got into flips, I just did the same thing as if I did with the rentals. So if I know if I buy a rental and it needs it painted, I'll hire a painter. So I just brought that to the flip side. If I need a painter, get a painter. If I need flooring, get a flooring. I need an electrician, get an electrician. And I just do the same thing.
Yeah.
And
That's
go ahead.
go-
Okay, but no, at the end of the day, that's basically just jumping in, knowing that you have some prior experience. First of all, like you didn't become a GC on your very first project. You
No.
had at least learned the game. You at least been through a few deals to know what's needed in the deal in order for it to be completed. And so now you have a little bit of prior knowledge and prior experience in order to jump into that deal. And even though it's still new, you have some type of leverage and understanding, like at least I know this doesn't look right, and I can make sure that I can point these people in the right places, and I'm gonna still learn as I go. Like I'm gonna get better at it just because I started to begin with. Each day that I do it, I'm gonna continuously get better and better, and that's way better to have that mentality versus saying that's not my lane. I never can do that.
Exactly. So you just got to know the process of things, because you'd be surprised. Like, a lot of real estate investors don't know the process of things. Like,
yeah.
they might know might not know that you need quarter round on if you're gonna put wooden floors. They might not know that you need GFCIs within 6 foot of water, things like that. So you just got to know those things, and you learn that over time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, for sure. So one thing I want to talk about in one more thing in real estate, just because I know you kind of mentioned you have built also your portfolio, your real estate, your rental portfolio a little bit, and I think you were the king of the creative financing game. So I want you to kind of talk about how did you acquire those 6 or 7 units that you mentioned earlier in terms of adding to your portfolio? Was it any creative strategies or did you just
All of them.
yeah? Well, get into
So
it.
Let's
I
talk
talk
about it.
about so when I was working, I taught my coworker how to do real estate, and he purchased like 43 houses in 2 years. So he lives where I used to live. He lived an hour away from where I am now. So he racked up a lot of units in a city an hour away from him. So now he's trying to sell all the ones in the city an hour away from him and strictly invest in his area. So he had 2 houses he wanted to sell. So he pitched me on a finance. I was like, cool, I'll take it. So I did that on a finance. I bought it on a finance, and then I sold it lease option. So that's what I was saying. One of my guys that worked for me, he bought 2 houses from me. So I bought it. I basically just took over his mortgage. So his mortgage on both was like $1,000, and I rent each out 1,000 together. I rent each of them out now for 1,000 a piece. So I'm making 1,000 cash flow for 2 units. That's 500 a unit cash flow, and that's principal, interest, taxes, everything. And so that's how I did that. And
Were they
then
subject to? Was that subject to or?
yeah. You can say that. Yeah, I just took over his mortgages.
Somebody that's listening right now is confused as I don't know what, because they heard owner finance, they heard lease option, they heard
Yeah,
subject
say a
to,
lot.
and they hear Spanish right now. So let's at least start defining a few of these terms so we can like keep our audience
Yeah, so
engaged.
let's go with subject to. Subject to is when you take over a mortgage. So that's what I did. You could basically say that. So he
Yeah.
had a mortgage in place, and I took over his mortgage.
Right.
Owner finance is when the seller becomes your bank. So the seller is your new Chase or Wells Fargo. That's
Yeah.
seller finance. A lease option is somebody puts down a down payment, and let's just say y'all make a lease for like 3 years, and they have the option to either walk away or purchase it at that price. Rent to own is they give you a down payment and they continue to pay until they own it. So
Yeah.
I use all this all day, every day.
So these are creative financing strategies. These are the alternative ways to get into real estate investing because a lot of people think it's just straight up 20% down or you got to go hard money or you got to do, house hack or you got to do FHA, you got to do all this. Like, no, there's 8,015 strategies that you can use to get into real estate.
And like we were stating earlier, if you have a goal of getting into rentals, you can get rentals all day, every day without having any money or having terrible credit.
Man.
Like the deal we just bought, we wouldn't even driving for dollars. We was going to our flip and we took a different way because my partner think he knows everything when it comes to driving. So he said the way was faster. We took a different way. I seen in my peripheral a red for sale by owner sign. We passed it up, put it in reverse, called the owner. Within like less than a week of calling her, we purchased a house and sold it all in the same day. So we bought our house on a finance. She been having the house for sale for like 6 months. We bought it on a finance. She wanted 7,500 down. We was like, cool, that's fine. And then as soon as we got off the phone with her, we called one of our workers and asked them, hey, I heard you're looking for a house. Yeah, you're looking for a house. They went look at it. They said we got 12,000 to put down. So what we did was take their money and use their money as the down payment to the seller, and we just made that split in between the 12,000 and the 7,500. So we bought a house with no money down. The mortgage payment on that is like $500 a month, and they pay $1,000 a month as well. We bought it at $55,000. We sold it at $105,000. So now they're gonna make equal payments of whatever that number is for the next, I think it's 96 months or something like that. I don't know.
Bro, I'm telling you about this creativity, man. Because first of all, you saw a deal. Like I really can't even recap everything because it was so much in there. But at the same time, it was all creativity that allowed you to not spend any money out your pocket. And in fact, you said you got $12,000 as a down payment from the buyer, and you only had to pay $7,500. So the gap between that is $4,500. You made money because you did this deal on top of the rent that's coming in each month after that. That is the essence of the creative ways of getting into real estate. Most people are going to think, if I'm going to buy a house, I just need to go give me a 20% down payment, go to the bank and say, can you give me this loan? And that's the only way to get into it. So if I can't do that, I just need to do wholesaling. Like there's a whole bunch of ways to get into it. And that's just the essence of like what you do. That's why I said that's really your gift, is like finding those creative ways of doing it. If people listen to this and take that away from this entire episode, is be creative. I think that's really just the key principle in being able to get into real estate by whatever means.
Yeah, you just got to be a thinker, man. So the thing about it is, you have to listen to people talk, figure out what the problem is, and just be a problem solver. That's it. The same like when I bought my first rental. The lady just wanted money to buy a new house in Dallas. I could give you your money. If you work with me, we can work with each other. You get your money, I get the house, you get the headache off your hands, and we both win. That's all she wanted was like $30,000. She got a loan. I got a loan from the bank for $45,000. So she got the money that she needed, and she owner financed me the other money. So it's a win-win situation. Same thing like with the lady that just sold us the house. She been having the house for sale for 6 months. Nobody, like we'll take care of this right now if you want the money.
And that's the crazy thing about this, because it's like there's so many like deals out there that if you really are looking, you will really be surprised. I remember last year we were flipping a house, and we got it from a wholesaler, and then on that I remember I was just driving around the neighborhood, same exact situation. A owner had a for sale by owner sign in the front yard. Called the dude up, and he was like a retiring landlord trying to unload his entire portfolio that he inherited from his dad. Because he wanted his situation, he wanted to take the money to go work on his passion of restoring vehicles, like old school vehicles. So cool. That means he could sell at a super discount because he didn't, he just wanted to get the money. He needed to get rid of it. So that was his problem. So what we did was, use hard money to finance a majority of it, and then I went to a private money lender to fund the remaining portion because hard money lender was only doing like 85% LTC. So that's another like creative financing strategy, because the thing about it is like you always are asking, or you're saying like, okay, if something comes up, you can't tell yourself I can't do this. You got to ask yourself, how can I do this? And that's the essence of what creative financing is, because when you start actually thinking about different strategies, but the thing is you got to know them, because if you don't have them in your tool belt, then you're SOL.
You're walking away from deals.
Right. And you don't even notice. So you got to know about them. That's why having this conversation is so important, so people can become aware of these different strategies. You mentioned like subject to, lease to own, all these things. Because now when people, come across someone's problem, now they can think, okay, what if we do? You have 100% equity in your property. You own it free and clear. Oh, have you ever heard of owner finance, seller financing? We don't even have to go to a bank or anything. We can just do it straight up peer to peer. So that's what the essence of what all this is, man. So you are the king of creativity. That's why I love bringing you on here, man.
You just got to know when you're talking. When you present it, you just got to let them know, like, you could sell it. Go sell it with a realtor. They might not want to because they got to pay the 6%. When you buy from me, I'll pay you more money, and you walk away with more money. You don't have to pay the 6%. Yep. And then you got to look at it like this. Hey, this house is worth 100. You sell it to me for 100. You're really not walking away with 100 because you got to pay taxes. So if you sell it to me with equal payments monthly, you don't have to pay taxes.
I'm just speechless on it now, because
you just got to break that down when you're talking to them. And then most retired landlords, they definitely don't want to pay them for sale. So, and they're used to the cash flow. The thing about it is they want to sell it because 9 times out of 10 it's a headache for them.
Yep. They're old, man. They trying to get out the game. Like, he's selling it to a 24-year-old. Like, I'm excited. We're both solving each other's problem. I want deals. He wants to get out the game so he can go do what he wants. So it's cool.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how often it works. It works all the time, most times, but you just have to explain it well, because a confused mind will always say no.
Yeah.
And then you just got to know the different strategies. So they have deals every day that people walk away from. I know the listeners right now, they probably got a few wholesalers. They got a million deals in their portfolio. They just don't know. So it's just like a lot of people walk away with deals because they don't have enough equity. Don't have enough equity, just take it over subject to. I'm sure the loan amount, if the loan amount makes sense and the rent makes sense and there's cash flow in between, just take over the mortgage.
Yeah.
If they need a down payment, you sell a lease option. You tell somebody else bring the down payment. There you go. Now you got a house for free.
Man, you know what would be dope if I would just want to bring O'Neal to a random property and be like, yo, go buy this property. Just so I want you to put together a deal.
I just think about different stuff, man. I just hear the situation. I just think about how can we buy this property.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I just want to really reemphasize the key point that this doesn't just come after you graduate college and you just magically know all these different ways of financing or selling different deals. Like, this comes from time that's spent educating yourself. You have to learn the lingo, learn how to solve problems, learn the ways to solve problems before you just are able to get out there and are able to creatively finance or creatively get into all these deals. Like, everything that you're saying today is a result of what you have learned over time, what you have self-educated yourself on, because this is not a class in college or high school. This is something that you have to learn through, whether it's experience or learn through relationships, learn through education from other platforms, other people. Like, this is why we keep bringing people on the podcast, because they can teach stuff that we may not have even done ourselves before. And this just allows you to continue to grow as far as like listeners. And it just understand it's just a process to everything. Like, this didn't start overnight.
Not at all. Not at all. And then another thing, you can't be scared to take risks, man. I learned most of the stuff I learned because I hear one little thing, like this is how I learned. I hear something on the podcast, it's like, shit, I'm about to go try it.
Yeah.
It worked. It may not work. If it worked, I just keep on rolling. And then the thing about it is, you hire the experts to do the work. So if I get a property on the contract, I put it on the basic contract and I put additional terms what it's gonna be, and I give it to the attorney, and they do all the proper steps and documents and things. You don't have to be the smartest person to do this. You just gotta hire the smart people to do it for you.
Yeah. Nah, man, that's what it is. That's all it is. Having that team together, being able to put that team together too is super important. So one thing, or go ahead. Well, because I wanted to kind of transit. I know you wanted to mention kind of the other thing that y'all had going on in terms of.
I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna bring it in. So yeah, we want to transition one more time though. Like, so outside of real estate, y'all are also like doing. You have joined a group of other people that are also real estate investors, and not only are y'all doing real estate, y'all are teaching others and empowering others to do it as well. So this is a group that I've been in, like Business Over Breakfast. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So get into it. Tell us what that's about, and tell us what y'all are doing with that.
So Business Over Breakfast is really a accountability group. So it starts at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. You know, it's kind of early for a lot of people, but we started it to hold ourselves accountable, to wake up early and get things done. So in this group or club or whatever you want to call it, what we do is empower people, teach people basically real estate, Airbnb, Toro, credit, business credit, just anything that can help our community grow to the next level. We talk about everything. So it's not just real estate. And the thing about it is, we want people to show up early, take something from it, and make their life better, make their situation better. Because everything we talk about is certain things or different things, how to make money, how to make income. So definitely chime in if y'all can, but that's all about.
Yeah, and I really want to go into it just for a second because, for one, y'all have been very consistent with that, and that's something that a lot of people are not able to do because y'all been doing that Monday through Friday since I think January.
Yes,
and
sir.
I've been tapping in like every other day just when I'm working out and stuff. But no, y'all brought in some pretty keynote speakers. Like, I know y'all have had Grant Cardone on there at one point.
Yeah.
And I know that y'all. What's up?
He came twice, I think.
Exactly. So yeah, this is like a legit thing that people can learn a lot from outside of just listening to podcasts or reading books. Like, this is live speaking. Like, y'all are literally in there. We can raise our hands and have a conversation about it. You can ask questions. Like, this is what that community is for. And on top of that, I think this is a perfect time for this episode to be coming out because I know y'all got the event coming up, right?
Yes, sir. May 22nd, Houston, Texas. Gonna be from like, I think 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's an event teacher. We're gonna be talking about creative finance, wholesaling, Airbnb, Toro, single family, multifamily, foreclosures. So If you leave here, we're giving the 6 to 7 figure blueprints. So we're getting straight to the point, no fluff, of how you can leave this event and make it money in the next 30 to 90 days or even 12 months. So we're gonna give you the game. It's up to you to take the game. If you don't make money, something wrong with you. We're giving it to you. And it's only $97. So
exactly.
It's basically free.
I'm gonna be up in there, bro. I will be seeing you soon, bro.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be so the education will be from the morning till like 4 o'clock, and then after it's gonna be a networking day party. So bring your phone, bring your business cards if you have that, and start. You should leave there with at least 20 numbers.
Nah, for sure, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I love what y'all been doing on there. But now, just as far as like the final question of just before we start wrapping it up, like what is your end goal? I don't know if we talked about it before, but what is your end goal, and has it changed since this time last year?
Shit, my end goal is to build so many streams of income, blow up the Airbnb, get in Toro, man, just create as much passive income as possible. That's my goal, and teach more people, because I don't feel it's just as much as you teach people, education is just like you never teaching enough people, because it's horrible out here, especially in our community. Especially with the virus that just happened, just so many people lost jobs, so many people lost hope, they're confused, don't know what to do. So just impacting our community more and making more money. That's it. Buy more units, getting the bigger units, get the apartment buildings, mobile home parks, things like that.
I love it. Oh man, I'm happy for you, man. You're doing great. You killing it, especially at 27 years old, man. This dude is killing it, man. He's only 2 years older than us. On fire. So, what we want to do now is kind of wrap up the show the same way we did last time. I think I kind of remember some of your answers from last time. We're gonna see though. We're gonna get into the fast five. Was we even doing it at that point? I don't know. We'll get into the fast five.
Yeah, was.
Oh, we were okay.
So we did do it
because I think I remember your book. We're gonna see though, but we did change one or two questions, so we'll see.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna get the first one and we'll alternate. So first question: what does success mean to you?
Freedom. Be able to wake up in the morning, do whatever you want to do. Don't have no restraints, nothing holding you back. Of course, taking care of your family and just being healthy, man. Healthy and be able to do whatever you want. That's freedom. Wait, you said success? What you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that mean to me, man.
Yeah.
Being happy, man. 'Cause a lot of people, they have money or they take care of their family, but they're truly not happy. So being happy, be able to do whatever you want, staying healthy.
That's legit. No, for sure. Question number 2: what is your favorite money or business book?
10X Rule, of course. What's the other one? The one everybody say.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad in my own ebook.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah. The book came out last year. Yeah, for sure. Y'all definitely gotta go check that. Go check that out. And then I know you had the it was like the business credit play in there too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
Teaching people how to leverage that credit, man, like we was talking about earlier. Showing you got the 850. You gotta make some money with that.
Sure.
It's a fact. So third question: would you rather have $1 million today or $1,000 a week for life, and why?
Ooh, $1,000 a week, because of course it's way more money, and I'm all about cash flow, man. You pay me $1,000 a week, that's $4,000 a month. All right, I'm straight with that. That take care of the kids, the family. You know what I'm saying? So I take that any day. But $1 million wouldn't be bad either, though.
What you thinking about it?
I could turn that into $4,000 a month.
Oh, he's thinking. Boy,
it's a creativity brain going now.
Yeah. I'm watching him. I'm watching this. Look at him looking over there. He has him thinking over there.
I'm gonna take the $1 million.
Oh, you switched it.
Do I have to pay taxes on the $1 million?
No, that's after tax.
Oh yeah, I'm taking $1 million all day. My bad. I ain't taking that. I'm gonna take $1 million.
This is the first time we had somebody switch on the podcast.
But I'm sorry.
No, why you switch? Why you switch?
Because I could make way more than $4,000 a month off $1 million.
Yeah.
I could put that into one apartment building.
That's a fact.
Hey. That might be $50,000, $60,000 a month.
Yeah.
Hey, no. I love it though.
You use $1 million for the down payment, what is usually 10%, so I could buy something for what? $10 million building? Shit. You know how many units that is?
Hey, no, that's like Alex said, that's a creative brain thinking. So like once you sat down and thought about it, like, no, what can I put that million into?
No, sir. I want the meal.
No, for sure, bro. All right. Question number 4. If you could go back and change anything about your journey, what would it be?
I'd have started sooner and I'd have quit my job sooner.
Really?
Because when you quit a job and you don't have that security, your brain starts working in all different type of ways because you know that check ain't coming. You can refresh the bank account all day. That shit ain't there on Friday. So you start thinking of stuff that you never thought about before. So that's what it is.
Big fact, man.
Forcing yourself to get uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Last question then. Where can people find out more about you?
Oh man. So first thing, you can shoot me a text. The number is 337-435-9223. Shoot me a text and let me know if you got any questions or anything. Secondly, you can go on Instagram. I changed my name. It's O'Neil, Oneil J Parker. Check that out. What else? I got a website, O'Neil Parker. You can check me out on Biz Over Breakfast, Monday through Friday on Clubhouse. And I also got a podcast. It's The Real Shit Real Estate. We do it live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. So that's all the places you can check me out. I'm also on Facebook, but I'm not really on there like that.
Yeah.
And then Twitter is O'Neil J Park as well. I'm not really on there like that either.
I love the rebrand. I had to check. Sure. I was like, yo, did he just get his personal?
I was gonna do that, but I knew I understood what he was doing already.
I had to check. I was like,
that's a community number, man. Community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
man.
For sure.
And really, if y'all need it, anybody that's listening, if you need anything, any question, text my number. I'll text you back. We'll have a quality conversation. Might even get on FaceTime for 10 minutes.
Yeah, y'all just heard you have access to him if you just text that number. That is so crazy. Like, you have access to this dude's brain if you just text that number. So a lot of people are not doing that. I mean, I'm not doing that. So,
yeah. And I'm also teaching the game right now, man. I launched a mentorship group about 8 weeks ago. My first group just finished. So if y'all want to learn the game, learn the strategies, how to leverage your 9 to 5, how to escape your 9 to 5, leverage 401ks, leverage your credit, all that type of stuff, construction, Section 8, pretty much everything that I do, I teach. So if y'all want to check that out, y'all can go on the website or shoot me a text.
For sure, man. This has been dope. We appreciate you coming back for part 2 or the second one, the remix. We definitely gonna have to do it again. That's it for this episode of the Money Monopolizers podcast. New episodes will be released every Thursday and will be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Just search Money Monopolizers wherever you listen to podcasts. We hope you learned something of value today. And if you did, we'd appreciate it if you rated us 5 stars and left us a review on Apple Podcasts. You can also find out more info about us on Twitter at the Monopolizers or on IG at Money Monopolizers. We post informative content on there that'll keep you engaged. So be sure to check that out and share those posts. But until then, we're out of here.
You've been listening to the Money Monopolizers podcast, helping you take control of your financial destiny. To learn more about how you can be in control of your money, visit moneymonopolizers.com. We'll catch you next time when Alex and Marlon share more personal finance and wealth creation tips with you. Now it's time to take action.